End credit scenes are nothing new to Pixar. Throughout the credits of early Pixar movies like A Bug's Life and Toy Story 2, there were bloopers. The animation studio later switched to end credit tags that capitalize on recurring jokes from the films, such as Riley's deep, dark secret being revealed in Inside Out 2 last year. The post-credit sequences in Elio tease the upcoming Pixar movie and suggest possible directions for a sequel. Elio focuses on the title character, a youngster who is fascinated with aliens because he thinks they would be able to accept him in a way that the Earthlings cannot. With a beautiful conclusion that guarantees no one leaves the film feeling bitter or damaged, this charming short ultimately examines the value of emotional ties and the ways empathy can improve everyone's quality of life. In addition to being a charming film with a powerful message, Elio has one of Pixar's most potentially expanded endings. As the movie comes to a close, the aliens arrive on Earth, ostensibly proving their existence to all of humanity. Two credit scenes follow this beat, one of which carries on Elio's journey and demonstrates that, despite the events of the movie, his link to the larger cosmos is still strong. Here's how the post-credits sequence of Pixar's forthcoming films suggests an upcoming sequel, and how the mid-credits moment of Elio sets up a possible sequel. Elio's mid-credits scene establishes the possibility of a future reunion and possible sequel plotlines by confirming that the title young kid and his earthly friends are still in communication with Glorden. After assisting in rescuing the Communiverse from the mayhem he unintentionally created, Elio concludes with the youngster returning to Earth. Elio appears to maintain communication with the aliens he met, even though he voluntarily goes back home to strengthen his relationship with his aunt Olga. He is last seen with his new human buddy Bryce as they make contact with Glorden. Elio and his friend's bond is codified in this endearing sequence, which also appears to validate a significant portion of the movie's conclusion. Everyone on the base saw the Communiverse ship when Elio and Olga returned to Earth. This appears to validate the existence of aliens to the earthly populace, or at least to all those in attendance. The fact that Bryce is assisting Elio in getting in touch with Glorden implies that these friendships will last beyond the galaxy, highlighting the film's themes regarding the value of our relationships with one another. Even if Elio's mid-credits scene isn't a purposeful cliffhanger, it does set the stage for a possible sequel that would examine Elio's destiny and position in the larger universe. The fact that Elio is in communication with Glorden indicates that both humans and extraterrestrials are still willing and able to converse. With his newfound personal history and ties to the Council, Elio might be forced to accept the ambassadorship he worked so hard to acquire throughout the film. Elio's conversation with Glorden may eventually lead to the aliens' arrival on Earth or to Elio returning to space for a fresh mission with someone like Olga or Bryce in tow. Numerous opportunities could arise from this, such as investigating whether Earth as a whole would be interested in joining a group like the Communiverse. The warmongering of his people may potentially lead to Glorden becoming embroiled in a fresh battle, necessitating the hiring of a master negotiator such as Elio. The charming pace of Elio's mid-credits scene highlights the character's emotional journey throughout the movie. If a character is given the chance to return for a fresh story, it also establishes the framework for his possible future paths. Elio has a long way to go before he truly matures, but he may be mature enough to embrace the relationships that people wish to build with him. A follow-up to Elio might conceivably concentrate on Elio's actual maturation as he acts as a mediator between his pals from the wider cosmos and his loved ones on Earth. There is a short post-credits scene following the credits of Elio that is unrelated to the film that came before it, even though there is a mid-credits sequence for Elio that sets up more adventures for the young child and his companions. Rather, against a darker screen, the clip centers on a lifelike reptile that has discovered a cell phone. The creature locates the lizard emoji and repeatedly presses the button, causing the small green icon to fill the screen. The title card for Hoppers, which is presently slated to be one of the upcoming contributions to the Pixar canon, comes next. Beyond the title and the emphasis on animals, the teaser doesn't give away much about the film. However, additional information about the movie has surfaced, partly because of a presentation at the Annecy International Animation Film Festival that provided more specifics on the cast and other confirmed data. Hoppers, which was directed by Daniel Chong, the man behind We Bare Bears, will open in theaters on March 6, 2026. The movie revolves around Mabel, a little girl with an intense love for animals who fights to save the local fauna from an impending building project led by Mayor Jerry, played by John Hamm. She accomplishes this by developing a robotic beaver that she can hop into via an experimental procedure. She is able to speak with the beavers directly as a result. Among them is King George, played by Bobby Moynihan, who is in charge of the neighborhood that is formed around the pond.